Hopping back on the water today as rowing is the focus for Flyers Weekly, and we are so excited to talk with Brooke Hartzelll. Brooke, thank you so much for giving us a few minutes.
Thank you for having me.
It is amazing what happens in a year. You're a really good softball player. Here we are talking about rowing.
Yep.
The Division III level, you're a .325 hitter. You lead Augustana College in stolen bases. Transition 365 days.
Yep.
You're at the University of Dayton, and you're on the rowing team. How did all of this happen? And I guess first, how you landed at UD, and then also how you ended up on the water.
So I had a lot of family that once went here many moons ago. My cousin, like Bobby and Porky, went here for engineering. So I did have a foot in the door in that situation, but I also heard about how great the School of Medicine here was, the resources that they gave to students, and I've experienced it definitely just in my short time of being here, but it was a change moving from sports, let's say, but I am really grateful for the opportunity. I feel that I've grown as a person through the change and have learned to accept like adverse situations and handle them definitely better.
From the batter's box to picking up an oar,
Yeah.
what has there been a part of softball that's helped you on the rowing team?
No, definitely. I definitely believe that the mental aspect of athletes, even if it's not really talked about as much, is a big part of who we are as people, how we learn to handle adverse situations, and how we grow from them, definitely. In softball, it is a game of failure. You will fail more than you will succeed, and basically by stats standpoints, you can fail like 6-7 times when you're up to bat and have a 300 batting average, and that's still well respected in the game. So learning from those situations where it's super adverse, there are 9 people against you when you're up to bat, and you are the one person that's representing your team. It's a very mentally like witty game in that aspect, I'll say. And from rowing, which is very mental too, like you can be halfway through a 2K and it could feel like you're giving it all you got, but you have to continue for your team, for the betterment of yourself. And I feel like that transition from having 2 sports that are very just mentally, you have to think a lot, and you have to think about yourself, your team, and which school you're representing. So glad for the change.
You discussed your connection with UD and going back with your family.
Mm-hmm.
So you come here to the Gem City, but where was that connection with rowing? Was that you trying to stay involved in being a student athlete, or was it someone from the rowing team coming to you?
No, definitely. So I heard about UD Row before I started actually my year here, and I figured, hey, this is a great spot for me to come in and see what I can do, even if it's just trying the sport out, seeing what I liked about it, seeing if it was a good fit for me. And I found that definitely the community with the team, the atmosphere, it's just so loving and it's supportive that I felt that this could actually be something that I would want to pursue. So at first I just tried it and I really did love it. And I have learned to love just being with my teammates, being in the sport itself, and all that comes with it.
What's your favorite thing about rowing?
I'd definitely say my teammates. I think that also it does provide like a physical outlet. It's very strenuous on your body, but having your teammates there as like a lifeline in the boat, being supportive for you, you know, having that sort of support, whether it's being, you're competing for spots in the boat, whether that be actually cheering you on, being there with you through your darkest moments, it's something that's so hard to find, and that's why I just felt like I needed to gravitate towards rowing.
You were the definition of a true student athlete, and it's incredible what you've been able to accomplish in your short time at UD. You were a McGrath Award winner, and your major pre-medicine,
Yes.
Minor in neuroscience. Your work through illuminating the soul ends up landing you with the McGrath. Talk about illuminating your soul, and then sort of, coming to campus and being extremely successful and productive.
No. So I presented my research on illuminating the soul, which basically I went into a deeper reflection of Avicenna, who had like kind of a hierarchical understanding of knowledge, especially as it transcends from God. Being Marianist University, I feel like it's very prominent here. Then to Aquinas' perspective of more quantitative research, inquiry, which we see is like a big part of UD, and it embodies it very well in that regard. And to receive this award, I was able to understand how these complexities underlie UD as an institution, both valued in education and in spirituality. So I was able to figure out, like, here are some ways that we understand these processes of gaining education through knowledge and becoming better people, and gaining self-growth in that way.
It's a huge honor, especially in just talks with what you mentioned, UD and Catholic education. From pre-medicine, neuroscience, what is sort of your ultimate goal? And I know that you have, here you are a junior, you got another year, but what do you want to do after your time at the University of Dayton?
Yeah, after my time at UD, I fear that I want to, definitely take my understanding of education to a further level, which involves a lot of more schooling, but I do really want to work in eventually some realm of neuroscience, whether that be like a clinical physician and understanding research in Parkinson's. That's also something that I'm interested in, as like I feel that that's a very important issue for me and it affects my family a lot. That was really the reason why I did get interested in neuroscience in the first place. That felt like a calling for me in that perspective. And following UD, I want to like keep a lot of the connections that I have built here, whether that means that I remain in the area after I finish UD, and definitely come back because it's been such a great community for me, and loving, with support, with pushing me to go after things that normally I would never even consider for myself. So I've really enjoyed my time here.
Well, Brooke, we are so happy that you found a home here at Dayton, and congratulations for all the things that you've already done, and best of luck in New Jersey at the A10 Championships.
Thank you.